Most men think that the better he treats his woman, the longer she'll stick around. The more she'll be attracted to him, and the better she will make him feel. In other words, he thinks that if he gives her everything in the world, she will love him forever, sleep with him, desire him, and be devoted to him. And that's just not the case. In fact, the number one killer of attraction is needing approval from your woman. And most guys do this. This dynamic of he needs her approval. He needs her to make him feel better about himself. He needs her to show him that he's a likable guy. And this game of needing her more than she needs you is the number one reason why your relationship is falling apart. The problem is when the woman is the center of your world, then from her perspective, you've got nothing going on outside of her. If she's the center of the world, then yeah, she's the queen. And you don't have anything big going on in your life. A woman goes after a man that she can respect, that shows power, shows discipline in himself, and is going towards what he wants. Not here sitting there asking for approval, trying to wait on her hand and foot. So a guy who has high value in himself never, ever chases a woman. He does not pursue women. Men who are powerful in themselves go do big shit in the world. They are proud of themselves. They stand tall because they're confident of their abilities, and they've learned to self-validate themselves through their actions and the cool stuff that they're doing for themselves. My name is Ed Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. I've coached thousands of men, tens of thousands of men who come through my doors in one form or another. I've had over 3,000 guys come through the Betrayed to Badass program, and that's what we do. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your children. Yeah, you have to be willing to walk away from your woman. And men are generally very loyal to the woman that they're in love with. Yeah, they may want to sleep around and have somebody on the side. They may cheat on a woman. They're not going to betray her and just say, hey, I'm going to kick you out. Men rarely leave their wives for the mistress. And so the problem here is that you're willing to put up with this stuff and not willing to walk away. And this has been going on since most likely the dating phase. And so if you're in this situation where your wife is leaving you, if she's cheating on you, and you want to actually turn this dynamic around, you have to become the guy she would regret losing. You have to become the guy that she would kick herself for leaving. And what he ends up doing is maybe he was a powerful man in the past. Maybe he's this entrepreneur who's absolutely crushing it and just dominating in business. And maybe he still is. Maybe you still are. But over the years, some kind of spicy attitude came from his woman. She wants some sort of power and control because there's a power dynamic in a relationship in the beginning where he's this powerful guy going out there doing big shit, and she might not be doing a whole lot. And so over time, she's going to feel this disparity, and it's going to make her feel unsafe. So what she'll do is she'll come up with some sort of belittling comment, some sort of little thing. And see, the women will always test you first. Let's see what I can get away with this guy. And when she does this, she'll see that, oh, I can just knock him down emotionally, and then he'll just take it. And he'll keep trying to do more, keep trying to make me happy, keep trying to get my approval. And then she learns that the biggest weapon that she has is her sex, that she can use this sex to get him to do whatever she wants. And the problem came because this guy always saw sex as a scarcity. He always saw something as like the women are the gatekeeper of sex, that when she has sex with him, she's doing him a fucking favor. And so she leverages this so that she can have power and control over this powerful guy. And then over time, she tests this, and it gets worse over time because he just doesn't want to deal with it. It's just easier for him to just sweep it under the rug and say, well, this is just bothering her, I'll just get to it later. Or, you know what, it's not worth getting into the hassle with her. And so over time, he gets trained to deal with this. He gets trained to just tuck his tail between his legs, and he gets trained to just not be present. She'll see that she can call you names or shame you and guilt you, and you'll do more. And so instead of standing up for yourself, instead of standing firm for who you are, not being willing to walk away from a relationship, like really walk away, she sees that you'll do anything to keep it going. She might even be physically abusive towards you. I can't tell you the number of guys that come through the program that have been physically abused by their wives on some level. She gets annoyed with him for agreeing with her. She gets annoyed with him for just existing at some point. She gets annoyed with him for having any kind of opinion, for just saying anything. And the thing is, he's like, I don't understand what's going on with this woman. I can't understand why she's so angry with me all the time. And the thing is that she doesn't necessarily know either. She just knows that there's something wrong in the dynamic, and that because of this, it just keeps getting worse. And she can leverage guilt and shame to move you forward. She'll roll her eyes when you're talking to her. She'll cut you off, talk down to you, have that nasty tone of voice. She might even call you names. Why does this happen? Like, why do guys get into this situation where he can give this woman all this power, she can absolutely disrespect him, and he'll still stay loyal to her? It's this thinking that for some reason there's something special about her that he can put her on a pedestal and that he'll never get it anywhere else. So there's this level of scarcity within him, this level of feeling like this is the best that I can ever get. And this is a problem that he doesn't care for himself. He doesn't find his own intrinsic value, even though he might be fucking crushing it in business, making millions of dollars every year, bringing her into this home, paying for everything, the cars, the house, vacations. maybe even helping her start a business, which she does not do successfully. But he does it anyway because he can crush it in business and he wants to make her happy, so he does what he can. And so he gets into the situation where it just evolves over time, because when you ignore reality, you can't necessarily ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And this all comes down to boundaries. If you want to turn this around, you have to start having boundaries. And most guys are like, well, I do set up boundaries. I put up boundaries all the time. But she never listens to me. It's like, yeah, dude, because there's no consequences to your boundaries. You know, when you have children and they're acting out, there's always a consequence to their actions. If you're going to tell the boys, hey, I need you boys to have your teeth brushed by 9 o'clock, and then 9 o'clock rolls around and they're all acting like maniacs doing WWE off the couch and into their bedroom and thumping all over the house, and they're still in their clothes. They haven't changed, they haven't showered, they haven't brushed their teeth, and you go up there and you're like, guys, I need you to understand me. You guys got to do this. So what happens is because you just keep saying stuff and there is no consequence, what you end up having to do is yell. And now you have to leveraging fear to get what you want. I'm going to just dominate these children to get what I want. And this is what happens in your arguments with your woman. You end up getting into these shouting matches. Hopefully she'll understand. And then the frustration mounts and you get angry and then you fucking explode over time. It might be a slow smolder over weeks or months, but eventually you're going to blow the fuck up. And then she's going to say, oh my gosh, I'm scared. What's going on here? Your relationship is going to be altered forever at that point. Now there's this level of fear that she's going to have, and then she can leverage this against you. And she can start telling you how you're angry, you have angry issues, and that you're abusive and emotionally abusive and whatnot. And you're like, well, hold on a minute. There was some provoking going on here, and there was also a lot of not expressing by you. This is how you got yourself there, because you were unwilling to walk into collision before the collision came to your doorstep and you could not control yourself. And so this game of boundaries has to have a consequence. You have to say, hey, this will not stand. And if it does stand, this is what's going to happen. I don't have to give you my time or attention. I don't have to have this conversation with you. And ultimately, you have to be willing to walk away. And guys are like, how can I walk away? We're married under God. I can't just walk away from this marriage. And while that may be true, she's running on biology. You can't stop the biology with religion. And so you have to take this into account. And because you're not willing to walk away, you don't have the trump card. And so typically, if you want to flip this dynamic around, there's a few things you got to do. One is you got to start setting some boundaries. Two, stop asking for permission. Stop following her around and asking her what she wants all the time. Start making decisions on your own. Stop making her the center of your world. And you don't have anything big going on in your life. You're like, yeah, I'm building this business. I got these employees. It's like, cool, but why does your wife trump all of these other people's lives here? You built something special. That needs to be your main focus. That has to be your favorite thing. She can be your favorite person, but this has to be your favorite thing. And she has to see clearly what it is that you're trying to do here. She cannot get in the way of the pursuit of your dreams. When a woman gets in the way of your pursuit of your dreams, and then she's able to pull you from it, she sees that she holds a power over you that's stronger than even God. But you're always chasing after her for affection, always chasing after her for sex, always initiating everything. You don't give any room for her to come to you. And for the most guys, the first thing I teach them in the Soul Seducer program is stop chasing after her. Just let her come to you in her own time. It's like, well, should I text her good morning? No. Should I like her Facebook post? Brother, I told you, let her come to you when she's ready. Just let her come to you when she's ready. There's no space here. So he's constantly jamming attention down her throat, this approval-seeking behavior. This, hey, do you still like me? Do you still like me? Do you want to have sex with me? Do you desire me? He's asking her these questions all the time with his actions. He's not saying it explicitly, but it's coming off in the energy that he's doing. And he acts like he needs her. He acts like he has to have her in his life all the time. There's always this constant dialogue with the texting. There's never any kind of space. And so when she sees him, she just sees all this behavior as, I need to make him feel better. I need to make him feel better. I need to make him feel better. And the people that make their boys feel better are moms. So really you're asking for mommy energy to come from her. And if she has mommy energy going towards you, do you really think she's going to be sexual with you? And guys are always wanting the sex from his wife. I want the sex. She's like, is that all you ever think about? But if you really dig deep down in what the guy actually desires, he just wants to feel desired by her. He wants to feel that she's really into him, that she's really attractive. That's really what he wants. But he doesn't know how to say that. And so he just goes after the sex, because most of the time he hasn't really dug into it to find out for himself. And so a guy who has high value in himself never, ever chases a woman. He does not pursue women. Men who are powerful in themselves go do big shit in the world. They are proud of themselves. They stand tall because they're confident of their abilities, and they've learned to self-validate themselves through their actions and the cool stuff that they're doing for themselves. They have these habits. They have rituals for themselves. They have men that they hang out with that boost them up, that they can talk to if they have something going on. They don't make the women the center of their life. And society will tell you, you should make your wife the center of your life. If you had a mom that turned you into this nice guy, she's going to tell you, yeah, be nice to women, make them the center of your world. And while that sounds nice, it really kills the attraction. So you don't need to pursue your wife. You need to go pursue greatness. And in pursuing greatness and holding firm for what you want and what you will believe in, and not apologizing for that, you will find that you will now open up the space for her to want to come to you, and you will start exciting her in the way that you're demonstrating your power. And so demonstrations of power is what's going to drive her attraction. It's not being nice to her. It's not going to be trying to make her feel special. In fact, the thing that makes her feel special is in a contrast to the big shit you're doing in the world, yet you chose her. You chose her because you had options with other women. And because you had options with other women, you chose her, now she gets to feel special. You see how that works? She doesn't feel special because you bought her flowers or chocolates or gave her that shitty card from Hallmark. No, it's like with some kind of humor that's sexual at the same time. There's always that card, right? I have feelings for you. It's like, yeah, that's fine, but that don't make her feel special. And so if you want her to, if you want to make her feel special, if you want to feel, then you have to be a powerful guy. And you have to do this not only for yourself, but for your family as well. And that's what the whole point of the Soul Seducer program is to teach you how to make yourself into the guy so fucking powerful. If you lost that guy, this is how you get him back. Make him so powerful that she would kick herself from leaving. For a lot of guys, they're like, yeah, I would love her to like beg on her knees to have me back. For some guys, you say, I just want her to do it so I can tell her to fuck off. For some other guys, they're like, yes, I want to save this relationship, and this is what I want. I want to feel that she actually wants to be 110% in. Most guys are trying to save the relationship. Let me just save the marriage. And then he begrudgingly gets her to go to marriage counseling. He begrudgingly gets her to do anything, and she barely listens to him. And then she's walking away, and she says, well, I'm confused. It's like, she's not confused. She just doesn't want to tell you the full truth. Because in the past, you've been emotional. In the past, you've been an unhinged maniac. You've lost your temper. In the past, you can't actually bring things to the table to tell you because you react, because you get emotional about it. You get angry, you get upset, you get anxiety. And you're telling her that all the problems in your life, using her as this therapist, and so she can't see you as a rock. And so from this perspective, she says, I can't tell him anything. Why? Because you can't hold yourself in emotional self-control. You don't have any resiliency. Because you don't have any resiliency, she can't talk to you, you see. And so if you want to turn this around, you have to start demonstrating being powerful. If you demonstrate being powerful like you were in the beginning when you first started dating, then she will say, that's the guy I wanted to be with. It was a bait and switch for her. Just like if the woman goes and she's very sexy when you marry her and then she gains 200 pounds, you're like, that was a bait and switch. What the fuck? Now she don't want to have sex, you gain 200 pounds? This isn't what I signed up for. Why is she allowed to do this? And I just get to suffer in silence. And this is a problem because you didn't have boundaries. Because you didn't set the stage that, hey, to be with me, we both need to take care of our health. This is a boundary. This is a standard that I set for the relationship. This is what it means to actually lead. It's to set the standard, set the tone, and go forth. And bring the people up with you. So, brother, that's the end of this video. If you want to turn your situation around ASAP, the Soul Seducer program was designed to get you to step into your power as fast as humanly possible, because that is what ignites attraction. Not more connection, not more counseling, not more talking about your problems, but rigorous, massive action. If you like this video, if it gave you something to work with, hit the like button. Do me a solid, hit the like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.